appetite, you think, than you would have if you would be in a, you'd have people working under you, or you would still have the same risk appetite, but you'd look different at risks?
I think that I would be slightly I think I would spend more of my time on client acquisition rather than on R&D.
Okay.
And if that, I don't know how that fits into risk.
Yeah, I mean...
Because now I can, I think like 20-30% of my time goes to research.
Yeah.
And I'm really lucky that eventually I got some clients in this whole blockchain cryptocurrency world, because otherwise it would have been 2 years of a lot of time spent for nothing.
Yeah.
But
no, but now you have the expertise.
Yeah, now I have clients, so I can validate that.
Yeah. Okay.
But if you have people working for you and you're responsible for that, then you need to ensure that you're
worried a little bit,
Yeah.
We have a company which is not in the financial industry at all, but into diving.
Okay.
But it's still the same, you worry about your staff and, and there are a lot of bills to pay every month. And
it's ridiculous. Because when we had Frontier with more people...
it's also their life.
It's everything. And when I went on my own, I said, as long as I can do it by myself, then I'll do it. But that burden is quite... I mean, I felt it, and I wasn't even the owner of the company.
Yeah.
So that's difficult. So I think in that sense, I'm very risk averse. But then because I don't have this...
But that's for other people, risk averse.
Yeah.
Okay. So who do you think are let's say, the main influencers in this industry? Like, who would be able to change, let's say, the risks?
Here on the island?
No, in general, for the trust industry. Well, you could start with the island. Makes it easier, maybe. But I also read that you were a Bahamian director?
No, Cayman.
Oh, Cayman. Oh, yeah, trust.
Cayman, BVI.
Oh. So how, maybe,
I don't know.
Okay. Let me phrase it differently. Or let's say the stakeholders. Who can change the risks or influence the risks or set the risks. I don't really know how to, because I can say what I think, but then
then you
influence me.
I think that for the moment, the way that I think it's only the private sector.
Okay.
That for sure.
Okay.
I don't think that relying on the public, let's say the government or regulators, to change. I mean, they only change things and make it more conservative.
Yeah.
And you need change to make it more open.
Yeah.
And only the public sector, the private sector can do that.
So where does SIFA fit in here? Do they help with opening the industry also? Or
I am not in SIFA.
Okay.
So I can't really say.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you had an opinion about it. But normally I would think you have work groups or task forces, which normal governments have that. But I don't know if they have that here.
Loads of work groups and
they
loads
do.
of task forces here. And some of them are only private, some of them are public-private.
Oh, okay. Do they exchange information with, let's say, a person like you, like a service provider, let's say? Or it remains within their little...
SIFA, we used to be part of SIFA. When you're part of SIFA, they send you the emails and you go to the luncheons and things like that.
Okay. Okay.
But no, now that I'm not in any of those, you don't really get any. So you really need to be part of the gang, otherwise you're not in it.
Okay. Because I was wondering also how the knowledge exchange works between, let's say, the government And yeah, well, you're a company, so
Yeah.
how does that work? Or they just send you, or you're supposed to just know the law and that's it?
No, so the central bank I find is relatively good in sending out notifications of when you need to update something or change something. And I find that especially the last couple of months they've been like really out there and trying to do things.
So you adhere to whatever they say, basically. So they're just sending stuff, so you do what they say.
Yes, and because you have a license with them, so you need to do whatever they say.
Okay.
So yeah, that has its.
Can you give feedback to them about stuff?
I do.
Okay. Have they ever done anything with it?
I don't know.
Okay. I'd love to talk to them.
I find that they're very, at least the people that I speak to, they're open.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's also their industry.
Not super open. I mean, they're a regulator, but I do find that when I need their assistance, they are there to help me.
Yeah.
And that's important.
Yeah.
That they're not this like super high up there type of organization that you can't reach.
Yeah.
If I call up or send a letter or an email and say, hey, I have this question or I have an issue and I need to speak to you about it or I need your advice about it,
they will.
They will.
Okay.
And I think that that's very important.
Yeah. So there's definitely knowledge exchange there. Not only sending communication out. No. Okay. And with other, let's say, service providers, do you exchange information or it's more the competition?
So I
know you do
trainings.
I
have a different approach.
Yeah.
I generally hear, and in some cases experience, that people and companies are very closed.
Yeah.
They don't share their information.
Yeah.
I think it's a cultural thing. I don't know if it's everywhere, but I know it's here at least.
Yeah.
That knowledge is power, and thus I am not going to share my knowledge. And that is the general consensus. Now, I don't think that's the case. I think that the more you share, the bigger the pie becomes. So you need...
okay. Is it a cultural, maybe a generation thing also?
For sure. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, but I think it's decreasing. So I think like the information sharing is increasing.
Okay.
And that's one because it brings in business. Yeah. They're realizing that. So if you're sharing things on LinkedIn or a Medium or any of that, you're increasing your let's call it following, and thus your potential for clients. But also I think that the younger generation grew up with that. The more you share, the better. Yeah. And so they're amongst each other. You might be at different companies, but you are sharing it. Yeah. I remember a few years ago Islamic finance I did Islamic finance as my topic for my thesis for my master's degree. Okay. And I went to...
Did you live there also?
No. But I did go to Lebanon and Bahrain and Dubai and all these places very often. And I went to a local trust company, bank, fund service provider here to give a presentation about it. And one of these very obnoxious men there said, it's nice that you're here giving a presentation, but why? Aren't you the competition? I said, well, not really, because I work with you on one of these clients, so technically we're a partner in this, but that's the feeling. Like, why are you, there must be a reason that you're here sharing. Yeah. It can't just be for sharing. And I think that over the years that is changing a little bit. And then especially when you see that you need to do something to change your industry, people become a little bit more open. But again, it's